Rejection, constant rejection, years and years of rejection. And what that does is it either breaks you or it makes you fearless. And with me, it has broken me so many times that it's made me fearless. And once you're fearless, nobody can stop you. Hi, I'm Abigail Fierce, and I'm a singer-songwriter and an actress based in Los Angeles. So growing up, music was not a thing in my house. Both my parents are very logically minded, scientifically minded. I think in that way I'm not like a lot of the other artists that you see who, their dad taught them guitar or whatever. So I feel like in some ways I don't have that leg up, but I have loved music for as long as I can remember. It spoke to me in a way that people didn't, and I feel like music was always gentle with me when people weren't. It's funny, actually, Miley Cyrus as Hannah Montana is what introduced me to music as a kid, and then from then on it was anything I could get my hands on, from folk to grunge. I like to tell people that my music is like Alanis Morissette and Courtney Love mixed with Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran, because those are the ones that I love the most. I absolutely love 90s rock or anything from the 90s, and I kind of like the modern indie singer-songwriter that we have going on right now, like Phoebe Bridgers and Soccer Mommy, Girl in Red, that kind of thing. I was homeschooled for high school, partially homeschooled, and so I had a lot of time on my hands, and I wasn't really around anyone my age, so I taught myself guitar and started writing every night, and my guitar kind of became my best friend, and I would end up playing guitar for like 6 hours a day. My parents had bought my brother a guitar years before because they thought it would be a good hobby for him, and he never touched it. It sat in the basement. And it was a decent guitar, and I would go to the basement and I would like sneak it, because my brother's very territorial and he doesn't like anyone touching his stuff, even though he never touched it. And so I would like try to play it quietly and like figure out, whatever. And they put the plastic over the pick guard. I didn't take that off for like 3 years. And then finally my brother was like, okay, fine, it's yours. Like, you write songs now. And so I finally like took it off. And I'm like, and that guitar is still my baby. That one is my Martin X1 AE, and it's I named it Alaska. And I just always thought guitar was super cool, and I loved it. And then when I begged my parents to get me a guitar, like my own, they were like, didn't want to splurge the money on it, and I got like a $99 small, like almost joke guitar, because I was like 12, so I was like short and tiny, and I needed something smaller because my brother's was so big. But I still love my brother's because the sound was just so much better. My process is different every time, and that's what keeps it interesting. I feel like inspiration is everywhere and nowhere all at once. I wouldn't say that I need anything to be creative except like maybe a pen. I'm very lyric-centric, so I think it always starts with the lyrics. I'm most inspired by my emotions, so I feel like once I kind of tap into my emotions, it can become almost trance-like, and I'll just write pages and pages and then kind of go back when I'm a little more self-aware and like try to piece things together into a story and grab lines here and make it make sense. I write like every night, and I especially did when I was younger before I started releasing music. And so you don't get a song every night, you might get a verse or a chorus, and it's kind of like, I don't know if it's like the right time to finish this or whatever. So I have all these different things, and it's kind of like, sometimes I'll write a song in 30 minutes, sometimes I'll write a song in an hour, sometimes I'll write a verse 6 years ago and come back to it, and I'm like, wait, that emotion is again applicable in my life, and I might be in that state again to finish this. Music has always been my lifeline. I think that's the thing that hasn't changed. I strongly believe that music is what saved my life when I was younger because, like I said, partially homeschooled for high school, wasn't around a lot of people my age, and music was the way that I could relate to the world without being in the real world. I went into the acting business when I was 13 years old, so that's a very turbulent time for anyone in their life, trying to figure out who you are, what you want to be. And with acting, it was very stand here, do this, say this, be exactly what we want you to be, don't shake my hand, don't have any opinions. And I was always trying to fit in these boxes of what other people wanted me to be, and it changed all the time. You'd have a couple auditions a week, and it'd have to be, because if you're not exactly what they want, you have no value to them. and you don't know exactly what they want, and they don't really know either. And it feels really personal, but it's not, because at the end of the day, they could just be like, oh, we wanted a brunette and you weren't a brunette. But you're like, I gave my soul to this, you know? So that's where music, I think, came in and really helped me, because in music and my writing, I could be whatever I wanted to be, and I could be completely myself. And then on the flip side, as I've gotten older, and I've released music, and random strangers on the internet can tell me whatever they think of my music, and my music has become more of a product, that sometimes it's nice to slip back into acting and pretend to be someone else for a while. People always ask me, do you like acting more, do you like music more? I like both of them equally, but there are phases where it's like, maybe this is what I need a little bit more, and this is what I need. And I don't really find it challenging to balance both, because it's kind of just what life presents me with. I'm like, okay, this one needs focus right now. I have this job or whatever. I need to focus on this for a couple weeks, and the other one goes on the back burner, and then it comes back, you know, ebb and flow. I used to, when I was younger, think, oh, if I get a certain job, you know, is that going to influence my image with the music? Or if I release a certain kind of music, is that going to influence this? And am I going to like worry about that? And as I get older, I feel like it might be a strong point for me, because I like to release songs of all different kinds of genres, and I would like to do acting roles of all different types. Like I just did a horror movie, you know, so it's fun to maybe be in one, you're like a sweet, just regular high school girl, and then in another, you're a murderer, you know, and I feel like if I can be anything in there, and then maybe my music can be anything there, and it doesn't have to be a solid, like, cohesive image. It can just be what I'm feeling in that moment. When I do something, I give it my all, and that's like when I'm doing a character, I completely go into that, and so it feels the same way with music, is that it's still me, it's just another facet.
He's cute, but he's nothing special. He doesn't look good in every picture. My friends all took one look and said I could do better, but he
The output has definitely been the hardest part of being an indie artist, because you have to find the time to do everything, the money for studio time and promotion and all that. So I've been trying to just release singles right now, because that's like the best thing for the algorithm and this, that, you know, the business side. But the dream is to release albums someday, and then, you know, maybe I could group things together in a more cohesive way. I need to get back in the studio. I have been performing live a lot this year, and performing live kind of helps, because I do feel like you outgrow certain songs, and it's like, I feel like the need to go back in the studio, like it's clawing at me, and it's like kind of that internal timer of like, I have to do it now. So playing live, I don't think has influenced my songwriting too much. When I first started playing, I would see audiences react a lot to the upbeat songs, and I would think, oh, well, I need to make more upbeat songs. Maybe I should make something with like a dance beat or something. And then the more shows I did, I would see, you know, if I was somewhere maybe more casual, like playing at the fair, say, I would be playing like my sad song. I have this song called I Just Want to Feel Okay Again, and it's about my experiences with anxiety and depression and stuff. And I'll just be kind of in my mind doing the song, and I'll see this like big man who looks like a security guard just like stop and look and just like close his eyes and like melt into it. And I'm like, that's why I make music, not because, oh, maybe I should make a dance beat because the people in this bar are busy talking and not listening, you know what I mean, to the words. And I'm like, for me, it's about lyrics. The best thing about writing music, I guess, is just the feeling I feel when I've finished a song, just written, not produced. It just feels like a moment between just me and like my soul. I feel like it's just a feeling of accomplishment that nothing else to me measures up to. And then the most rewarding part about being like a musician that releases music is when fans tell me how things have affected them. Like I had a message from a lady on YouTube who told me that she accidentally clicked on my song because it just like came up on the side of her screen, like the algorithm. And she knows that it was sent to her by God because her husband just passed away, and this is like the words that she couldn't say. And that to me is crazy. Or like I've had people message me and say that my song Scream It to the Whole World helped them come out to their parents. And I'm like, it's crazy that something that I wrote when I was like crying on the floor, trying to grasp at something tangible, like just words on paper that mean that I'm worth something, like me crying about that could someone else could relate to that and make them feel better is absolutely crazy to me and extremely rewarding. I feel like in real life it's hard to connect with people because you have to communicate and this, that, the other, but I feel like with my music, I'm a bit of a loner, so it's like I put this out that helped me alone and then it helps them alone, and we can kind of connect without like the outside factors of like the world, if that makes sense. For acting especially, the most challenging part of everything, music too, is rejection, constant rejection, years and years of rejection. And what that does is it either breaks you or it makes you fearless. And with me, it has broken me so many times that it's made me fearless. And once you're fearless, nobody can stop you, so.
Some mornings I don't wanna wake up, 'cause I don't wanna have.
CD Baby has been super helpful to me throughout my journey. They've been like a mentor to me. When I first started out releasing music, I didn't know anything about the technical part. I was very much an artist that was like, oh, I just want to make music. I don't want to like learn. But they made it super easy to learn. They have all the articles and all the videos that I could ever need or want. And I love the customer service is super helpful. I mean, it's been a dream, and I love that it's like a one-time fee to release a song. You don't have to like constantly have the add-on subscription, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I love CD Baby. So I've been playing live a lot this year, and like I said, I'm like clawing to get back in the studio. It's time to release new things, and I have a new movie coming out, hopefully in October. It's called Skill House, starring 50 Cent and Bryce Hall, and it's a horror movie. And then I just filmed a comedy movie in Portland that will hopefully come out next year. They're kind of wanting to do the festival circuit with that, so I'm super excited about that. And you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at AKFierce if you want to have updates on the journey.